The car just goes and hustle for you, make a couple $100 a night in this case. Then in the morning you use it, right? So there is more news on tech, right? And this one is a very interesting one. It's Tesla is unveiling its new Robotaxi, and this is like coming like in the next few months in August 8th. So we start seeing where these companies are like trying to make more money, right? And one way for them is like, well, if they already have built the cars, and if they can make it drive themselves, then why not a robot taxi, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting how Uber and Lyft and all of these company like ride sharing behave, or even their stocks, right? Like I think that this is going to be an interesting battle between these companies, where they might have to even buy other one to try to compete to do themselves the same thing. So what's your take there?
Yeah, there's there's going to be a lot of disruption in the market. So there was a report earlier this week, right, which I think was maybe why Elon tweeted this out. So there was a report that Elon was canceling the $25,000 car because they were, we've been talking about Mexico is building a Tesla factory. Reportedly, they were going to build the $25,000 Tesla EV out there. It was supposed to be like the cheapest EV, but recently there's been a lot of EVs coming out of China, like with BYD, where their prices are really, really low as well. And so there's some competition going on here. So maybe Elon is like thinking, okay, maybe I don't want to compete in that space. What I'd rather compete in is the Robotaxi, which he would still be building that cheap car, but he would be adding his other kind of advantage, which is the AI and the self-driving, combining those two strengths into make the Robotaxi. And I don't know if he would operate them themselves, like by Tesla, or if he would license those cars to like an Uber or a Lyft or something like that. Obviously, this is brand new. A lot of those details aren't out yet. But like you said, these companies need to come up with a strategy to figure out what to do next.
Yeah, because in mine, either way, it will be very interesting, right? Like, let's say that you have your Tesla and it's already parked in your garage. Suddenly, you're in your home watching TV, and you literally move your Tesla. Sure, just be a robotaxi. Then, literally, your car gets out of your garage by itself, and then it just goes and works for you, right? The whole night. Hustling.
Hustle, baby, hustle.
Every day I'm hustling. And the car just goes and hustle for you, makes some couple $100 a day, right? And a night in this case, and then in the morning you use it, right? When you want to. That's the ultimate dream. That could be one approach, right? Or the other approach is that Elon is like, screw that. As might as well just have his fleet force of army of robotaxis and do it himself, right? So either way, they're interesting models. Either way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could do it lots of different ways. I think in the past, Elon has mentioned that, hey, if you buy full self-driving package, which is right now like $12,000 for your Tesla, if you buy it in the future, once it's activated, full autonomy, you can make $100,000 a year with your vehicle. That's what he's been saying. And that's the carrot he's been dangling in front of people to get them to try and buy the $12,000. I mean, hearing some of this stuff come out right now, I was thinking, okay, I can probably buy a used Tesla for 20 grand that already has that full self-driving in it right now, and wait for it when it comes for the full autonomy, and be ready just to deploy it as a taxi. And that's all it does. And it just generates, if it is 100K, whatever. And it's just like I own an employee, basically an Uber employee, and it's doing it for me. And I just bought that car specifically for that. It's an extra revenue stream.
I think that people right now, they are freaking out on these technologies, robot technology, and as well AI and all of that. but it creates a lot of different businesses.
Hmm.
Like literally, you're gonna have to have shops like you have collision places, right? To be able um, to kind of fix cars when they are like in a problem. I can
Hmm.
see shops that Tesla might not be able to fix all of the robots and appliances and everything. So they're gonna start hiring other companies. So
Hmm.
you're gonna start seeing maybe some robot shops that they are fixing cars and appliance your Optimus, right? Your
Yeah.
Robo Butler.
Yeah, the robo. So speaking of the robo butler, right? I know we actually just talked about this last week or the week before
Mhm.
that. We were brainstorming one time where what's a good company to start, and I was saying, man, if I just had like a butler to grab my beer or grab my soda or make me dinner or to wash my dishes for me, that would be awesome. Well, Apple must have been listening because I think that's the direction they're headed. You've been talking about this robo butler, right? And so the story is Apple was working on this their own version of their EV, right? They wanted to make the Apple EV. Well, they abandoned that. They probably saw how close like Elon was with his Robotaxi, or they got wind of it, so they're like, no, we need to move on from the EV and try to get to whatever the next step is, which a lot of people are working towards robots. So Apple's Robo Butler is going to be their next big thing, apparently. And like we said earlier, it's going to be Siri, right? We're going to call it Siri. Siri, do my dishes. Siri, make me a sandwich, and we'll see if it happens. What do you think about that? Would you be okay with having
I'll
a
pay that
robot in your
if
home?
you know. And I think that oh man, even 100K for that shit, you know. So
I'd be
it's
willing
like
to pay for something like that, right?
yeah, it's like I mean, it if the tech is there, I can even hijack it to program it as whatever I need, right? So, um,
What do you think about doing, Mando?
don't get ideas. I will not hug yours for that, Ramirez. So, yeah, I think that it's just I would be nice if it's in the low, maybe like 10,000, 20,000, because it's like two times, three times the cost of an appliance.
Mhm.
But knowing Apple, they'll do. I
They
mean,
start off high.
remember their Vision Pro. If it's
Yeah.
Apple, they're gonna come back with like 50K, 100K type of
Yeah, probably
device.
100K, I'm sure.
hmm So and people will buy it. People, I mean, I'm running a Mac. I have my like I really like Mac products. In cell phones, not so much. I do have an iPhone and an Android, but my preference for a phone is an Android. But
Mhm.
yes, I do like Apple products. It's just quality, man.
Yeah, and you know what? We have heard Elon say he thinks the price of a at-home robot type thing would be in the 20 to 30K range. Basically, the cost of a small car is what he would expect it to be. Of course, it may not start at those prices. We're going to start off with the Siri prices at 100K for your Robo Butler, but I think it's something that I think would be really neat. However, you and me both are both like real tech savvy. We're interested in kind of the latest and greatest. There's a report back in 2021 from the Brookings Institute that said over 60% of people, of adults, said that they're uncomfortable with the idea of robots like being in their home or just in general. And so I think there's going to be this time where people are going to have to get used to the thought of having this thing always in their home. But guess what? We've got Alexa, we've got Google Home, we've got these things already sitting in our homes and kind of listening all the time already. Maybe that's like the little seedling that they planted there, knowing that in the future there's going to be robots in the home.
It's gonna happen, and we're gonna see it in our lifetime. So yeah, I people can. It's gonna become a trend. You start seeing maybe celebrities having the robots, and obviously people they are trying to copy celebrities, and it just becomes trendy, and all of the
Yeah.
TikToks and voila, right? So I think that it will be. Agree. Maybe older generations might say, "No, I just want to clean my dishes in the old-fashioned way."
Right.
So like, all right, be my guest.
That's so funny.
Don't
you're
be
right.
one of those, Ramirez.
Yeah, no, I won't be. Here's also one thing. I think there's just this big opportunity because there's a lot of elderly, all right, that
Hmm.
get moved into homes and things like that because they need help in their homes, right, as people age and get older. So I think this is going to be a real helpful thing for that demographic, for those folks that they're not quite there yet to be able to be put like in a home or something like that because they really do need like nursing type help.
Hmm.
But for that gap, this is probably something that's would be super useful for those folks, that just need a little bit of help at home, whether it's like to help them get ready for the day or help preparing things or help reaching things. I think there's a big market there. So these robots are going to be pretty successful, I can see.
Yeah. Some of the nuances, and we probably need to discuss in different episodes, the technology. I still don't like the servos and the motors. It's just too, bzzz, like
Nah,
it's
sounds
not smooth.
mechanical.
It's very mechanical, right? So
Mm.
it's like in mine when you're moving. Every time that you're moving,
I don't know. I've got this constant ringing in my ear. Is that not the same thing?
it's a different story, man. And you're hearing voices too, I guess. Yeah, yeah. So I think that technology have to get better and better, mechanically speaking.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we've got a long way to go, but yeah, you're right, and that probably has something to do with what that survey says by the Brookings Institute that there's 60% of people that are like, I don't know about this thing. So there's this chasm that has to be bridged where people feel comfortable, and you don't hear this mechanical whirring noises thing in your home, and it's maybe there's a different technology, but
yeah.
very true. That's something that to think about. Well, that's all we've got for today. We'll see y'all next time. Dale.
Dale.